Good morning, it's Signal Centre with Talking Bull. Welcome to our version, Tuesday the 16th of August, just about made it. Joe's back tomorrow, so he can sort of like take over with all the controls and everything. But yeah, me and Jamie here today.
Hi Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks mate. Yeah, it's going to dive into the headlines very quickly and then dive into the charts. But yeah, watched the football last night. I wasn't too impressed, mate. I
Oh
felt
yeah,
like
no, I saw it too.
a bit of a Man United fan for a while. Felt very
You have
disillusioned.
you have no idea. You got a point out of the game, so it's
Yeah,
not very Man
exactly.
United like
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. Just with 10 men as well, with for half the match, with Nunez being a
Yeah,
silly boy.
that was silly, very silly.
It was stupid, but he'll learn hopefully. Let's dive into the headlines and see what's going on. We've got the let's run through it. We've got New York Empire Index slumps. The New York Empire Manufacturing Index declined very sharply to negative 31.3 for August from 11.1 previously, which was sharply below expectations of 5, and the second largest monthly decline on record. New orders component also recorded a very sharp decline to just under minus 30 from 6.2 previously, while there was an even sharper contraction in shipments. So not looking very good from the manufacturing index. The August NAHB housing index declined to 49 from 55 previously and below expectations of 54, maintained evidence of a weaker housing sector, or it all feels like 2008 again, although optimism did attempt to stabilize as mortgage rates declined, been there before. The German economic minister stated that the country will have a bitter medicine to swallow to make the shift to a new energy model, and confirmed that there will be a levy on gas supplies to households. We feel your pain, Germany. He added that the Russia-dependent model has failed and is not coming back, while the gas levy will secure supply and relief is needed to help people. Gas price remained close to record highs, which continued to sap Eurozone confidence. Overall, Swiss site deposits increased to 751 billion Swiss francs in the latest week from 749.6 billion previously, the second successive increase. The net increase suggests the National Bank may have been intervening to curb franc gains, but the franc maintains a strong tone, with Euro Swiss hitting fresh 7-year lows. And UK jobs data recorded a solid increase in July employment of 73,000, but vacancies declined on the month for the first time since August 2020, with unemployment holding at 3.8%. Headline average earnings increased 5.1% in the year to June and above expectations of 4.5%, while underlying earnings increased to 4.7% from 4.3% previously. So that's pretty much it for the news headlines. I'm going to dive into some charts. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin to start with, and then we can dive into the other asset markets. So let's take a look at daily chart. We have this sort of ending diagonal wedge type formation. We've seen these rejections from rallies again yesterday. We managed to push to a new high and then rejected later on. It's really trying to sort of, maintain this buoyancy on this corrective rally, but just keeps getting smacked back down again. So yeah, scratching my head to sort of like really sort of like think where the value is on Bitcoin, and yeah, rejecting gains close to resistance at 25,400. Let me just try and I think my actual chart, can't really see the numbers at the side. It's so slow. The actual font is so low. But anyway, let's try and move on from there. Yeah, still we're trading within this Ichimoku cloud. Overall, rejecting the advances and really support coming in where the 21-day moving average is, and this upward trending support line coming in just here around about 23,740. A break below there should open up the downside. And again, a reminder of the real resistance I see on the charts is between around about 29,000 and 33,000. For me, we could easily move up there, and that would still be, which still wouldn't actually clear a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of the overall down move from the March 22 highs. So still under pressure on Bitcoin. Taking a look at commodities. First of all, we'll start with gold. We saw gold reverse sharply yesterday, moving away from that 1800 level of resistance and closing down around about the 1780 area. A nice little reversal there. We've got this downward trending resistance line. It's part of this bearish channel that we've drawn. We've got 2 points on the bottom side of the channel. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. We managed to sort of like close above this channel. We could sort of like adjust it ever so slightly and have 3 clean points and accept this point as maybe a fourth touch. That looks a little bit better now from a bearish channel perspective. And you've got this Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart offering decent resistance. So definitely under being capped at the moment by that 1800 psychological level and resistance upwards from there also. So yeah, be interested to see where gold goes today. Maybe we'll take a look at the dollar index, see if that's had a little bit of a move higher and if that's been significant. Same sort of formation on silver. You've got the Ichimoku cloud. We pushed to a new high, the highest level we've seen since all the way back on the 29th of June. Got up to 2087, but didn't manage to get much higher than previous swing highs we've seen, and then reversed ever so sharply. So we opened around there and we closed lower than we'd previously opened the day before. So that's a bearish outside candle. So that's pretty negative from a candlestick perspective, and obviously rejecting around this resistance level, and also from the Ichimoku cloud opens up a potential for further downside on the short-term basis in silver also. Crude oil, interesting one yesterday. My gun to head we'll go through later. That did pretty well, and yeah, the follow through to the downside was what I was expecting yesterday, and it played out pretty nicely. We can see that this 21-day moving average is capping the highs. The market keeps trying to sort of like recover from this downward spiral that we're seeing in oil that we've been marking since the 8th of June, where we saw this high and this really nice move downwards. We've clearly broken this support that we had before at 92.26 on the WTI crude oil, and we also managed a touch point quite close to the supportive level that was forced by the lows, the 87.74 lows of the 5th of August, sorry, the 86.34 lows of the 4th of August. So we got down there again. A break of there really opens up the downside, and we can see the next support may be coming in around about the $85 mark from this swing high here, and a little bit of backwards and forwards and sort of like a bullish bearish battle that we saw around about the start of the year, around about January. So yeah, interesting to watch. Support about $3 on the downside, and yeah, under pressure oil. Brent crude, similar sort of price action. Support coming in at 92.21. Didn't quite get down to the previous swing low support, but putting pressure on it definitely. And again, with the next level of support coming in around about the 85.66 level. So it's a little bit further, a bit more of a drop is required to really hit the support. That's where Brent crude has outperformed WTI crude oil, and it's trading at well, what's it trading at now? It looks like about $5.40 premium to WTI, so still outperforming on the Brent crude side of things. Natural gas remains pretty positive overall, pushing it higher again. We just talked about the gas in the headlines. Major resistance up around about the 960 level, trading just below the $9 level. And although we are seeing signs of stalling, a bit of indecision creeping in with a doji and a hanging man candle. However, this morning we're on the front foot. Let's see if it can break above this this resistance that we're seeing around about the psychological $9 level. A breakthrough there, and it might open up a little push to the upside. Otherwise, the support below comes in around about 840 on natural gas. Taking a look at, well, let's take a look at Forex first. Let's dive into the dollar index. And yes, as we suspected, gold rallying based on, gold selling off based on the dollar rallying. The dollar above its 21-day moving average, closing above there, pretty significant. This turnaround we saw on the dollar, we mentioned it yesterday. It's a morning star formation. That's a pretty good reversal indicator, and it projected higher, really strong yesterday, and taking out the 21-day moving average. In the process, we're above the Ichimoku cloud, supported level below. So nice little turnaround for the dollar. Resistance coming in here around about the 106.95 to 107 area. Above that, we've got 107.42, and the major resistance is the high for this year at 109.30. So levels to watch there for the dollar index. Obviously, we'll take that from euro dollar, and this has had obviously a significant reversal. We've broken through the 21-day moving average, and also this upward trending support line significantly closed below there and under pressure. Support now coming in around about the 101 level, and resistance really back, really looking at the 21-day moving average, 102.16. The major resistance coming in at 103.67. Really straining to see these levels, Jamie. My eyes are sort of beyond my years at the moment. Yeah, support, as I say, down below 101, and the most significant support on this chart in this time frame on the daily basis is around about 99.5, so below parity. Feels like we could be on a little bit of a march at the moment. Cable, little formation. I was looking at this inverse head and shoulders potential that seems to have broken down. We never managed to get above the neckline of that formation to actually call it the formation, so we'll get rid of that off the charts for a little while. Keep an eye on it, obviously, from a distance. Broken down below the 21-day moving average and closed nicely below it, and support coming in now at around about the 120 level, right on it. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a bit of a psychological level. A break below there should open up, take a few stops out, and maybe get a little bit more momentum. And the real level to watch below, or the real support level we've got, is down at 117.63, which is a multi-year low. Taking a look at indices, how did indices perform yesterday? S&Ps seem to like it. That pushed higher. We're up at decent resistance levels, approaching 4,300. That's the area for the S&Ps to challenge next. We can see in April we had multi-highs around this level. So really nice performance from the indices, the S&P biting back quite aggressively, especially over the last 3 or 4 trading days. Support below coming in around about, well, I would say yesterday's low, or maybe the previous day's low, around about the 4,200 level. As I say, resistance coming in just above 4,300. NASDAQ, again, bit of an ending wedge formation here, but we've taken out those April resistance levels, so it's outperforming S&P from a percentage basis on the year. So that is looking pretty decent. You could call it an inverse head and shoulders. It's not great. I wouldn't sort of like put my name to it, but it seems to have broken this neckline here and projected higher. There may be a bigger measured move target that we can start to look at. We're nicely above the Ichimoku cloud, looking pretty positive for NASDAQ. I definitely wouldn't be looking to set short until we get some sort of reversal formation. We've talked about the indices, the stocks over the last, well, it feels like a couple of months, saying be wary of this rally, but it seems to be pushing nicely higher. And there may be a few people out there that were wary of the rally and maybe diving in now. Feels a little bit late, but who knows where this party bus will stop. Finally, I'll look at DAX. We filled the gap, obviously, that was left from the 10th to 13th of June, and price action over the last 24 hours hasn't been as positive as the US counterparts, but we did it's like an inside Harami or hanging man candle on the DAX. So yeah, support coming in the form of the 21-day moving average. That's down at 13,500, and resistance, we're bang on resistance, 13,875. And again, I'd like to see a little bit more of a reversal if I was to get into this and look to buy dips around about the cloud and the 21-day moving average. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, looks good, Steve. We've got a couple of quick questions. The first one, can we quickly have a look at Euro CAD? Sites of possible head and shoulders on that. I took a quick look. It looks pretty range bound, but you can definitely see there's a bit of a lower right shoulder in place on that one.
Yeah, I look at that. Euro CAD. Oh dear, I haven't even got it on my watch list. Naughty. Let's take a look at Euro CAD. I'll add that there. Yeah, I suppose. Let's look at the daily chart to start with. I like to break it down from the daily chart. So, well, for me, instantly thinking about a double bottom on here. I'm not going to lie. The neckline of that comes in around about the 133 level. I've got no bias on this really. We're sitting around the 21-day moving average, so, and we're below the trend line. So overall, it's a negative. But is there a potential bottom here? We've got these. Oh, let's get the little arrows up. Nice little low here from the 13th of July. And the low from the 28th of July. So that is the basis for the double bottom. However, for the formation to be something of significance, you need to get a break of the neckline. So that comes in at 132.92, a break above there, and then you can start to think about potentially a measured move of there, right back up to this resistance level here. So 136.22. So EuroCAD has stalled. It is still bearish over a daily time frame, still trending lower. However, if it does manage to fight its way back up through the 133 level, then there could be a potential for further upside once it gets through there. So overall, I'd still be looking to be short of this, looking to sell in front of this resistance level. However, stop and reverse on a break of it. That's what I see in EuroCAD.
Yeah, nice. We do have a couple more questions. One is talking about how people can access our signals. Maybe you want to put it up. It's talking about FXCM and if that is a broker that we are able to show our signals on. I thought I'd pass that one over to
FXCM,
you.
I would say FXCM, we're talking to them. We're trying to get them to see the light, obviously. There's a lot of brokers out there that have our signals. We should really sort of have a list of brokers that you can find our signals on. There's the IG Markets, Saxo show some of our signals on the TradingView platform, Oanda, Vantage Markets. There's plenty of brokers out there that are showing them. I won't run through the whole list now, but yeah, we definitely are knocking on the door of FXCM, and it's just a case of when, not if, I think, anyway. That's a bit bullish, isn't it?
That's the spirit, isn't it? Okay, there's a couple more bits, and there's something to talk about the FOMEC, but maybe we could, after I've run through stocks, do you want to put up the economic calendar and we can have a look at that and see
sure.
see about that.
And
finishing off, we do have a website. If you just I tell you what, in a sec, or maybe Steve can do it, we'll chuck a link to the, maybe actually not, I don't have TradingView like that, but yeah, we do have a website, just Signal Center, you'll be able to find us pretty easily. Don't want to get in trouble with the
no, don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be. We're sort of on TradingView at the moment. We love TradingView.
Absolutely, we do love TradingView. On that note, let me put up my TradingView chart. We'll check out some stocks. So checking out our biggest loser and gainer of the day. Starting off with the loser, we have IDYA or IDEA Biosciences. What are we down here today? We're down 34%, almost 35. Looks like it's off the back of earnings. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find anything here. Here we go. Adjusted price target from $13 from $16 amid the firm's steeper loss on lower revenue in Q2. So that was what sparked that big move downwards. What have we got here? LTRPB up 108%. This had a really nice jump. Well, actually started its first jump on July 13th. Pumped up again at the start of August and had another really big move yesterday. Doesn't look like we've got any news for this, but a nice move upwards. Quite a small stock actually, only trading it, well, on average, pretty much like 6 shares. I think you could probably buy the whole company at this stage. But some nice moves up there. Checking out the heat map, nothing really jumping out here. Tesla was obviously up 3%. That's quite probably the most notable part of this. The rest, it was a pretty muted day overall, with a lot of stocks closing where they opened, or there or thereabouts. So nothing really jumping at me here. Energy was down, but other than that, like I say, not too much going on here today. We will look at a couple. Let's see what we can find. Anything useful? We're not. Keep looking at Apple. Another, 0.5% up. It just keeps this climb going. The resistance does start coming in at 178, so we are actually clawing our way there. And I'd expect some selling pressure to come in at that point. But for now, it can't really, just keeps on climbing higher each day. So keep an eye on that. I don't have too many stocks listed today that I'm interested in. GME, we had that pump on GME, a bit of a squeeze. We've consolidated since then. We are still seeing buyers coming in though at this support level we've got here. You can probably move it down a bit. Around $40, $39, $40. You can see that from the wicks that the buyers are trying to step in. So maybe we get a bit of move high. You could see this potentially as a bit of a short-term flag. If we bring out 4-hour chart, maybe it show a bit better. So we've had this move upwards from around here, and then you've got something. I mean, it's not. Ooh, here we go. It's not perfect, but you can see the psychology behind that. That it's just a bit of a consolidation here. Perhaps before the next leg higher, which if we did get it, maybe targeting that 49 level that we've seen off the previous pump back in March. I don't know if I keep saying pump. I said about 8 times so far, so I think I'm going to hold back from now. Let's check out Google. Google, we had this range bound action for a fair old while. Looks like we've broken above that resistance, but notably, as we've been bringing up a lot recently, look at this volume though from the last 2 weeks. I mean, this is really low. The whole way through August, we haven't had the volume breach that 20 period average, which is starting to slope down now as well. So not a lot of participation in this second part of the rally. I mean, the first part, that was off the back of earnings, which you can see here, this big green bar here. But since then, it's really been tailing off the volume. So one to be careful of, I think. Possibly a bit of a false breakout here, but we will see how that develops. Microsoft keeps on taking out these resistance levels, but again, look, the volume's not even getting up to that average level that we've seen. Where does this stop? I mean, we're almost at this gap we had open here. Let's just circle that. So we've got a gap open from, I mean, it's not perfectly drawn, but you see where I'm marking it. In April that was. So almost got that fill. We've also got another gap open from the start of April there. So maybe look for this one to get closed, possibly even today, the way this has been moving. Although I do think, last I checked, the indices were down a bit today. So let's see how that one goes. Micron, we checked this out yesterday. Nothing really interesting. Quick look at Roblox. This reported earnings on the 8th of August. Looks like it missed. Yeah, you can see down there, according to TradingView, it did miss. Right at this key resistance level here. I think we actually did put out an idea for Roblox, which ended up going quite nicely. We took profit around here, but this looks like the sellers are trying to defend this $52 level. But we had this nice double bottom play out here, so that was quite a nice technical trade there for Roblox. We'll take a quick look at Tesla, which had this 3% move yesterday. Talked about this a fair bit recently. This has been pretty strong over the past month or so. where are we going? Where the sellers coming in? It's difficult to tell really. Obviously we've got this bit of selling here, barely sold off at all before it then rallied again. We've got the stock split coming up on the 25th of August, so that's one to have in your diary. But we could, I tell you what, let's draw some new Fibonacci. What about we go from this high to this low? Where are we going? So you can see we almost got to that 61.8 fib. We didn't quite get there. And let's draw on the 78.6. So those are potential areas where sellers could start stepping back in. But it's pretty choppy trading, honestly. It has been since that last kind of run up we saw in October. Since then, it's been nothing too. I mean, I'm struggling to get my words out, but it's not been, particularly pretty. It's been high lows and low highs and low highs, and it's been very mixy. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Certainly interesting how that's moving at the moment. I think honestly that's pretty much it. There was nothing really that was jumping out. We'll take a quick look at Avacta. This is still being capped by this downward trending resistance here. This has performed pretty well technically, as we've mentioned a few times now, with this $100 pence level really being defended nicely. And we've seen resistance levels come in. We've seen nice like horizontal and diagonal resistance. So yeah, this has played out quite nicely. Potential for a bit of a flag here as well. So we had this really big. Oh, that's the wrong button. We had this really big run up from the back end of start of March. Sorry, we've seen prices since then kind of consolidate like this. And I mean, if this did play out, we could be looking. There we go, something like that. So it'd be right back towards the highs we saw over in April of last year, if that flag does play out. So yeah, I mean nothing too crazy as we say happened yesterday, but we do have some significant events, don't we, that are coming up today and throughout the week.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, you're done, Jamie.
Yeah, that's it for me, but yeah, not too much going on.
Okay, this is the part of the show that we do our gun to head challenge. So we both pick a trade, myself and Jamie pick a trade. We publish it on our TradingView platform, and we have an entry level, which is at market, and we pick a stop and a target level. At 9 o'clock tonight, we'll take wherever the market is, and we'll mark it to market, and otherwise if it's hit its stop or target, we'll mark it to there. So that's the idea. We'll show you how we got on yesterday. Jamie's trade idea, he was going short of dollar yen. Unfortunately, got stopped.
Sorry, that was last week, I think. I did get stopped out yesterday, but I did a different.
Yeah, here we
go. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, great. Two
a bit more
stops
like
out. Love to see it. Not really.
Euro Swiss. Yeah, that seemed like just turned around, got stopped out on that. That's the way the cookie crumbles, and I managed to do okay in Brent crude oil. Managed to actually nail the actual bottom of the market.
Look at that.
I mean, that was just looking at these support levels here, thinking about the support area there. But we do leave these. We do let them run. We don't interfere with them during the day. We don't sort of think, oh, it's close to the target, let's take profit. We just let it hit the target or bounce. It's not the ideal way of trading, but it seems to be working. So that we'll carry on with enjoying it and having some fun. Jamie, have you got anything that you're looking at the moment?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in and start. So I've been scanning through the charts today, and I've actually come across platinum, and I've seen that yesterday. If you look at this, I'm trying to annotate the chart on the stream, but it makes sense if I do it on TradingView. I mean, look at this candle here we had yesterday, a real bearish looking candle, engulfing a fair bit of trading over the past couple of weeks. And if we drill this down to a 4-hour and a 1-hour, we're seeing what looks like a real turnaround. We're seeing a lower high here, a lower low coming in here, and potentially a bit of a head and shoulders top here forming. You can see we've got a bit of a, I don't like this tool, let me find it, where are we? Here we go. So we've got something like a left shoulder, a head, and a smaller right shoulder, but it's not I'm not very good at using this, but you can see the sentiment's really starting to change. The buyers are struggling to prop this up, and to me, although perhaps it's a bit early, I'm looking for a break lower of this support level we have here. So yeah, I mean, let's give this a go. You had a nice short of a commodity yesterday. I'm going to see if I can replicate that today. Selling platinum at current price of 925. There we go. We will take profit at 887, so kind of in this area of support down here where these wicks all are, and our stop will be at 93. Let's go 936. So just above these kind of highs here, and you know, if we do get a bit of a play out today, I think if we do break, it could shoot lower quite quickly.
Yeah.
So you know, if it does, you know, we're looking at 3.45 R on that one. So hoping for
Nice.
similar fortunes as you had yesterday, Steve.
Yeah, nice one.
Thank you.
I was looking at two really. I'm looking at my Brent trade idea from yesterday, thinking there's a potential for a continuation. It's significant, but it's just bounced from a supportive level around about the $92. So I'll leave that alone for a second. The only other one I'm really thinking after yesterday's price action looks a little bit toppy is gold. Bearish outside candle, looks pretty poor. We're trading around the Ichimoku cloud, the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud resistance at the moment. And if I could drill it down to an hourly chart, we can see the sort of basis maybe of a bearish pennant. Let's just draw that in there. Just broken through. And yeah, so that's got the potential for further downside. If the pennant plays out, you get something like that. So opens up a bit of a move to actually the next support around about that level. So yeah, I'm going to go for that gold. I'm going to look to sell gold at current prices. The stop, yeah, I don't mind that. Let's have a bit of a target down here. I don't mind pulling the stop in a little bit actually. That could be that could possibly be a bad thing. Actually, it's an $8.50 stop, so that's probably a pretty decent one. I'll just leave it as it is. So that's what we're doing. Obviously, I'll move it so it's like 8 o'clock. I'll publish this as soon as we finish on air. But yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to sell gold at 1777, targeting a move to 1755, and the stop is at 1786. So that's my gun to head trade idea for today.
Yeah,
And
good.
yeah, that's it. Let's see. I'll get it on online as soon as we finish. Day ahead, we've got German ZEW index. That comes out at 10 o'clock. Jamie mentioned looking at the calendar. We can see the German ZEW index forecast to be negative 48. Previous was negative 45.8. Also, we're looking at the US housing starts, Canadian consumer prices there this afternoon, and they're probably higher impact also. We can see the Bank of Canada Consumer Price Index forecast to be 6.7%. Previous was 6.2, and that'll be one of the higher impact events rather than ZEW, which is classed as a medium impact event. It used to be a high impact event, but not so much anymore. Okay, so and thinking about the day, we got tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, UK consumer prices, and the rest of the key events over this week. US retail sales, Federal Reserve minutes tomorrow night, and Australian employment report early in the morning on Thursday. That's what we've got coming up. That's a wrap for today. Joe's back tomorrow. I'm sure you're all excited about that. He'll fill us in on how fantastic Arsenal are and how fantastic his holiday was, because Arsenal are fantastic. And yeah, we should get that rundown then. We're really working hard to get one of our other senior analysts, Taff, on the live stream. We're going to be working hard over the next week to get him on. Just need to give him a decent computer. and not be tight. So let's say good night or good morning there, and good luck with trading today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, be careful out there.
Yeah, and just before we go, Steve, a big thank you again to Ryan who's chucked in 200 coins our way. Do
Woo!
appreciate it. Anyone that comes in and watches, you know, it's always great interacting. But yeah, Ryan, appreciate you. Thanks for coming to the stream and supporting the channel.
Lovely, brilliant. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, thanks very much, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Bye bye.